Hey Ramblers, this is the first of 3 videos to discuss the iPad basics, and this will deal with the hardware of the iPad, and will show you some of the tricks and features that you may not be aware of. So I'm sure you've all found things like the home button and the on-off button, but let's go through things step by step. I think you'll find some of it pretty interesting and useful. Okay, over here on the left is the home button. That round button we will use to open the iPad with our fingerprint or to close apps once we are using the iPad. Over on the right side is the sleep wake button, or what's probably more commonly called the on off button. Down below on the lower rim of the iPad is the volume buttons, and there in the center is the camera lens. Okay, let's turn the iPad on by placing our finger on the home button. Now, this brings me to my home screen. My home screen is going to contain all the apps that I have, and it's broken into pages, and each page is broken into 2 parts. You'll see that the top part of the page up here is really all the apps I have, and this can be contained on several different pages. As you can see, I've got a lot of apps, and all of my apps are organized into folders. So by putting 2 apps together, I can form a folder. Here's one of the apps I seldom will use. I put them all in one place. Simply by tapping the home screen, I can go back to my home screen. You'll also see an area down here at the bottom, and these are where I put my commonly used apps. As a teacher, I have a folder for all the apps I use in the classroom. I use Dropbox a lot, and Bookshelf and iTunes U. But let's say you wanted to move one of the apps onto that screen. You would do so by holding down or pressing an icon and holding it down. At some point, the icon will begin to shake a little bit. You're then able to move that icon anywhere you want. You can move it down to the bottom into your favorite bar there at the bottom, or if you'd like to make a folder, you would simply move one icon on top of the other, and it will form a folder for you, and the iPad will actually name it for you. So just press the home button to accept that folder, and let's get out of that. Okay, if you use your finger to swipe down with just a flick from the top, you're taken to the spotlight screen. And the spotlight screen will help you to search for any app on the iPad by typing into this search bar. Or you can simply use your voice by pressing that microphone. Let's return to the home page by pressing the home button and swipe to the right using one finger, and it will take us to our widget page. Now, widgets are little shortcuts to handy apps that are on the iPad. As you can see, it is a spotlight page, so we can search using the search bar at the top, or we can populate it with common apps that we use. You do that by pressing this edit button. Once you've pressed edit, it takes you to a menu where you can select different widgets that you want to include that are offered by Apple. All right, we're going to go back to the home screen, and we'll look at one last shortcut screen, which you get from flicking up from the bottom. And here it takes us to a shortcut menu that will get us into our settings. So you can see we have a shortcut button for putting the iPad in airplane mode, turning off Wi-Fi, turning off Bluetooth, turning on or off the Do Not Disturb, which is a great idea during the day in class, muting the iPad, and locking the orientation so it doesn't move when you flip from portrait to landscape view. These other boxes talk about what you know if you're airplane. Here I'm airplane to my MacBook Pro. I have night shift option, which dims the brightness of the iPad. And if I want to airdrop, this is the button I would use if I wanted to send something on my iPad via Bluetooth to people that are in my immediate area. I can also access my stopwatch and my camera from this shortcut menu. If I slide to the right, or if I flick left, then I get my shortcut to the music menu, and again, this menu over here is going to show me my airplane options. Okay, let's go back to the home screen. But before we do, let's take a look at this one bar here, which affects the brightness of the iPad. That's a really important one as you try to conserve battery. So if you keep your iPad at a lower level, you're going to use less battery. But keep in mind, it's really rough on your eyes. And, you know, overall, every day, day in, day out, that can be a bad thing for you and can cause headaches. So we'd really urge you to kind of just charge your iPad at night and so that you can use a normal amount of brightness during the day. All right, Ramblers, thanks for watching, and I hope this helped.